Alright, let's play a game. I'm gonna shuffle these cards, and I want you to think of one. Okay, so I'm just gonna poke a shuffle. Have you thought of a card? Is it not this one? Is it this one? Probably not, but for a few of you, that would actually be your card. Today we're going to be talking about RNG. Now, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but the thing about RNG is that it's a staple in party games, whereas in more hardcore games, if you tolerate that term, it's genuinely looked down upon as being a sort of easy way for people with no skill to win, despite it literally being random. So let's talk about RNG and think of some examples that we can think of. Well, yeah, obviously. And let's talk about what we feel about them, if that makes sense. I'm not really feeling up to it, so yeah. This is just so the algorithm doesn't forget that I exist. Okay, but first of all, what does RNG mean? Well, an RNG is a random number generator. It's like, let's say, if you try to... Look at VATS in Fallout, for example, or the targeting system, if you're talking about the older ones. It's basically a chance of succeeding, a chance of something succeeding. It almost undoubtedly came from tabletop RPGs, where you would roll a dice to see if you succeeded in doing something or not. But instead of a game master telling you whether you did it or not, it would be the computer. So what kind of... oh, for fuck's sake. So what kind of mechanics would implement RNG? Well, just a few examples. Okay. So what kind of mechanics can we expect RNG to be found in? Now, the first and most obvious one is loot crates or surprise mechanics or roulette wheels, shit like that. Anything that sort of even vaguely resembles gambling will have an element of luck in it, or RNG in this context. Another example would be random encounters. Or strange occurrences or things like that. Games like seeing crazy shit in Fallout, perhaps, or seeing crazy shit in Undertale, or seeing crazy shit in essentially any game that doesn't take itself seriously, but also games that do take themselves seriously as well, like, say, the chance of meeting a Pokemon in the tall grass, or, again, meeting a shiny Pokemon in the tall grass. They're determined by RNG as well, but people tend to not get upset at them, because they're single-player sort of personal experiences. When someone says, oh, this fucking RNG fucked me over again, they're normally talking about things in games like Hearthstone, or first-person shooter games, especially Team Fortress 2, with random crits. Like, random crits are the bane of every sweaty tryhard who ever played Team Fortress 2. So, I think I'm okay now. Still, my eyes still hurt from the light, but if I turn it off, I shall be submerged into the darkness. Actually, it's not that bad. No, I'll keep it on. May as well. Overexposure is better than underexposure, as my dear old great-great-granddad probably didn't used to say. Okay, but now I've explained what RNG is and how it can be useful in certain situations. Why is it hated? Well, I think that's down to one reason. It sort of nullifies any skill or practice you've ever done, because, like, if you win in a game that's known for being really luck-based, you can't really commend yourself for winning, because, oh no, I just got a lucky break. I had nothing to do with my skill. And if you lose, it's not because you were worse, it's not because you need more practice, or you didn't, or you could have ducked in when you punched or whatever. No, you lost because the luck fucked you over, the RNG wasn't on your side. So it just sort of makes the whole thing pointless from a certain point of view. Granted, this only applies to people who take the game seriously. Like, a group of drunk people playing Mario Kart aren't going to give a shit about who wins or loses. They're just playing to have fun. And RNG makes the game fun, no matter who you're playing against. Because anyone can be massively benefited or massively fucked over at any given time. And that's what makes the game more enjoyable in a casual environment. But in a game like Team Fortress 2, which is a first-person shooter, like a very competitive genre, it's just sort of met with scorn because people aren't really there to just fuck around and have a fun time. Like, people play first-person shooters to win. Like, and that's just sort of comes with the territory of, you know, what the games are about. You're not shooting at people and building sentries and shit like that. So, should you add RNG to your game? Well, with all due respect, if you have to watch YouTube videos to answer that question, you're probably not going to be making the next Fortnite or, I don't know, what's Halo or Call of Duty or whatever. So it's probably going to be a really personal single-player experience, and it's almost definitely going to be very indie, so I say go for it. Could spice up your game a bit and could make it pretty fun. What you need to keep in mind is that the RNG should not matter more than the player's actual skill. So if you had a game that's completely skill-based, say like chess. Chess is this much skill and 0% luck, as opposed to a game like Snakes and Ladders, which is 0% luck and 100% skill. Wait, no. Which is 100% luck and 0% skill. That's what I meant. So it just kind of depends on your target audience. Like, what kind of environment do you want these people to be playing it in? Who are these people? And when and where are they playing it? That's basically it. I'd love to go further in depth, but I really either need some enough caffeine for me to just ignore the symptoms, 2, some antihistamines to make the symptoms go away, or 3, some sleep. But we all know that's not going to happen. Unless it's a certain antihistamine. I forgot the name. The one that's in NyQuil. But it's 11 PM and the pharmacy shuts, so fuck me, am I right? Special thanks to my top tier patrons, Stolen Dragoon, Ori Main, even though the Patreon seems to be pretty angry with you. It took your roll away and I don't really want to fuck with it in case it breaks again. And 3, Baby Kitschy. And everyone who watched this, I hope, if you were planning on making it your own game, which you should be doing, you take this advice to heart, and you'll see me in my next video. Yeah, see you later.